and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hello and welcome. So I'm sitting in a different part of my flat. It's kind of like a step away from where I normally sit on my videos, but I thought I would sit a bit more comfortably on my sofa just to have like a little chat. So if you can tell by the title, I'm going to be talking about my rosacea and just like my skin condition and how it's been doing, and like the lows and the highs, just about how it is and everything like that. I'm sorry if my background is very distracting. I mean, it's got all my DVDs and all my figurines in the back and like my bedroom, but I thought this would be like the most comfortable place. But I've previously done quite a few videos on my channel about my rosacea, so I believe, because I've been doing my channel for like 2.5 years now, I guess, and I've been trying my best to kind of like talk about my rosacea as much as possible, because I really don't think there's a lot out there for people to kind of understand and really know what it is, because I still think it's a skin condition that's not really spoken about much. And so I thought I would probably just like have another chat about it, because although not much has changed, it's kind of more you know, feeling positive about it, and then 10 minutes later just feeling like absolute shit again. So I want to give some like trigger warnings. I'm going to talk about like depression, talking about skin picking, talking about just like blood and all that stuff in general, because it all kind of fits in what I'm talking about. I'm not just gonna bring up random things. But if you haven't seen any of my previous videos, I'll give you a quick kind of like update on my own personal skin journey. So I guess growing up, I never really had bad skin, like problematic spotty skin. As a teenager, I was always kind of blessed with just really like normal skin, but normal being like not acne prone. Basically, even throughout my teens, I never really had an actively spotty skin. I occasionally had here and there when I was like having my moments of being like super lazy and just couldn't be bothered to like do any type of like hygienic issues with myself. But then as I kind of got a little bit older, so I think as I was getting into like my 30s, I started to try to understand skincare a bit more. So I would try different makeup routines and try different skincare routines to kind of see what worked for me. And I think that's what might have like activated my rosacea. I know that is one of the things that is hereditary. So I know that my granddad had like some of it like around his nose as he got quite older. So, but then no one else in my family has like got it. No one else in my family has like a skin condition like mine. So I find it a bit odd that I was like one of the only people to ever have it. And so essentially one day I started to get really red skin, just like really itchy and like bumps on my face. I'll put up some pictures as I kind of go along to show you guys. And gradually it just got a little bit worse. So I think I wasn't helping the situation just because I didn't know what was happening. So I would try other skincare products. So I had like an avid buying of like variety of skincare, like scrubs and cleansers and stuff, just not really knowing what worked for me, but then realizing that's what triggered everything. And then, as I mentioned, it just got progressively worse, where I would get really bad spots and I would have to, like, I'm the kind of person, I hate having any type of like white spots or any type of spots, and I would just aggravate my skin to make it worse and pick it and do this and that. I eventually went to my doctor. They were like, okay, this looks like you have rosacea, and I had never heard of it in my life. I didn't even realize what it was. And so I did my own research and I started having a look, because the doctor really didn't help me as much in the beginning. She just kind of said, here's this gel, here's some antibiotics, it will go away. And I was like, okay, let's see. And then doing my research, it actually seems like rosacea has no cure. You can only just temporarily look after it and kind of do the best to maintain healthy skin in some way while dealing with it. But as the years have kind of progressed, it's gotten worse. This is like more me recently. if you've been seeing some of my videos, you would see how clean and like great my skin has looked at that time. I had recently stopped taking my antibiotics because essentially you're not really supposed to be having antibiotics much in your life anyway. Your body becomes too dependent on them. But previously I had gone to a dermatologist, and this was when I got diagnosed, so I waited a year for someone to tell me to stay out of the sun, and for this one person to go, yeah, it's rosacea, just stay out of the sun. And I live in London, England, and you know, we have our moments of really hot weather, crazy weather, but we're not like Spain, we're not like California when it's sunny constantly. And so for me to be told to stay out of the sun, I'm like, all right, I'll just do that. I waited a year for someone to tell me to not sit in the sun. Okay, and then as the years go on, I mean, it did progressively get even worse, and then I decided to go and see the skin clinic. So they have a couple of clinics around London. I went to the one in Holborn, and I went for my appointment, and it cost like over £100 to get a consultation. I went there, the woman just went, yeah, this is rosacea. And I was like, are you kidding me? This is like a year and a half ago from like now. And I was like, all right, I already know that it is. Like 4 years later, I know that's what it is. And so she gave me antibiotics, and they were saying for me to go on this kind of, I don't know, every month I would have to get some medication, but I would have to have a blood test, I'd have to do a pregnancy test, I would have to do this and this and this every month. And I felt like it wasn't right for me, because at the time my skin wasn't as crazy, and I don't know, it's crazy, I'm not really trying to like say it on camera much, but me and my husband are trying to start a family, and for me to want to start doing this type of medication, I just felt like it wasn't worthy, and it was so expensive. I think every month I had to pay at least £200 towards this treatment, and my husband said, let's go for it. And I said, I really don't want to try it, because it's probably not going to do my skin any good, and I know that laser treatments are not really worth it as well. And now here we are, like today. I mean, like I had mentioned, I had like the past couple of months my skin has been amazing, it's been really great, and then all of a sudden now, I don't know if my body has slowly just gotten off of the antibiotics. Like I don't know how long they stay in the body for, but my skin has now started to become more and more aggravated. I mean, we're back to kind of not square one, but we're kind of at a point where I just am so fed up of my skin being like this. And like I mentioned, I've had to deal with this for like 5 years, and where I am like currently, I haven't had anyone go, what's wrong with your face? Because I really haven't had that in a long time, and I'm praying that no one steps over that mark and asks me, because I will not give a very friendly response. I've mentioned in my previous videos places that I've worked at, places that I've shopped, people, even on the London Underground, like transport, people have come up to me and said, what's wrong with your face? And oh my god, you have nothing to be worried about, you're gorgeous, your skin is gorgeous. And you think that's what I want to hear? Like, imagine you're just sitting there on the bus, train, minding your own business, and then someone comes up to you and says that your skin is fine when you never asked for their opinion. So I've been quite happy recently that no one has had to do that. I mean, when I go to work in the mornings, I don't really put on makeup, because I just don't. I get up so early that I really have no effort, and I feel like if I was to put on makeup, it would be for my own benefit, not for anyone else's. And the fact that I am slowly becoming more comfortable with this, even though I have some good days, I have some bad days. I mean, recently I feel like it's been a little bit bad. A lot of, like, my husband, he's just the sweetest guy in the world, is like, no, you look fine, your skin looks absolutely fine. And I'm like, no, I can see it. And I don't know if it's me like saying, like, making it worse than it is, but I can honestly tell that my skin has gotten progressively worse over the past few weeks and months. And I'm not just saying this so people go, oh my god babe, you look great, that's not what I'm asking. This is me kind of like venting and tell you guys like the highs and lows of having a skin condition, because not many people, I mean, I don't know how many people in the world have rosacea. I don't know how many people in the world have various types of skin conditions, but it varies in like your mental health, and it varies in, you know, how you deal with it. And the way that I've tried to deal with it is by aggressively picking my skin and making it worse. And I could sense that when my rosacea calmed down during those calm few months, everything was looking good, but my skin was looking so uneven. Pause, because the background was getting a bit much. Even when I'm living on like a very top floor, I could still hear, like, you know, the police sirens and stuff. I thought I got away from that, but yeah, just having to deal with I can't remember what I was saying, but just trying to deal with people's comments and this and this and that. But you know, every day is, yeah, what I was saying is about the amount of people who have skin conditions, but everyone has variety of skin conditions. People can have rosacea, they could have severe acne, and you know, a lot of people just go through various different skin conditions. And although I still think that I do need to get my skin picking treated, I really don't know if talking therapies will talk to me again, because I have been with them twice. Once for my anxiety, and then I think again it was for just like my depression and everything, and having to deal with just life in general, and having to like doing counselling for other things. But that was like paid through one of the jobs that I used to have during lockdown, and that was dealing with other stuff as well. So I've never actually gotten to a point of talking about my rosacea and just kind of dealing with just how I deal with this. And I know it's going to be something that's sticking with me forever, because there's no cure. I am part of like a forum on Facebook, which is like rosacea advice, I believe it is. So if you feel like you need some advice from people, I would highly recommend joining it. There's some really lovely people on there, they give you great advice. I'm more of a observer so I never really post things. Like, I like being a part of groups and looking at information and taking, you know, in information that I would probably need in the future. But I've always said to, like, in my other videos, if people ever need to like talk or have a chat, or if they're not sure about their rosacea, you're always welcome to message me, because like my DMs are open in that sense, because I'm, you know, someone who's been going through it for the past like 5 years. And even though there's been some highs and there's been many lows, it's not gonna defeat me. It doesn't define me as a person. And I hope that people who do struggle get to find that kind of happiness and satisfaction when it comes to their skin. It's not something that you can deal with overnight. I remember in one of the videos that I did, I kind of did the what I wish I knew, you know, before I had rosacea. And I've still got this notebook with me, because I've been doing like my YouTube notes and all this stuff in there. But I just, looking back at it all, is kind of so strange that I mean, my opinions on my rosacea haven't changed, just because it isn't cured, it's not going away. It's just how I have to deal with things. And I know that slowly each day I'm becoming more I'm accepting it more, even though I do know that I'm never going to be completely happy with my skin, and I don't know if I ever will. And that's just normal. I mean, there's always going to be something that we hate about ourselves, that we don't like about ourselves, especially in this day and age with like social media, where everyone has like beautiful skin and has like Photoshop and stuff. Like, I like to kind of slowly edit my pictures, but I'm not the kind of person to hide my skin condition. Like, even in this video, I'm like, what was the point? If I put on makeup, people are gonna not see the real me and see my skin. And I just think that's really important, to spread the message of, yeah, just skin is beautiful, and your skin is beautiful, and just, it's a struggle, but it's all good. I mean, I don't really know what else to say. Again, this video is like a vent more than anything else, and just a way for me to talk about it, because I don't really talk about it to anyone. I mean, again, I speak to my husband about it, but it's not like the same when you're just talking out loud. And for him, I don't want to annoy him when it comes to like, oh babe, my skin is so bad today, and he listens and he's like the most supportive person in my life, but I just feel like I shouldn't be bombarding him with all of my shit, especially with this. But you know, I just feel like if anyone has anything to ask or wants me to talk about anything more in the future, I'm very happy to do that. If you want to check out some of my other videos, you know, I think one of the first videos that I ever did on my channel was talking about my rosacea, and then like updates I've done. So I think altogether I've done about 4 or 5 videos if you want to check them out. Yeah, I hope you found this kind of interesting, informative. I hope I didn't chat a lot of shit, because I tend to do that and ramble on. But thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you have enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, because I film and upload all the time. Every time I get a chance to, I completely forgot what I'm saying. Don't forget to follow me on any of my social medias, because I'm always active on there, talking about my everyday shenanigans. I don't get up to anything. And I'll see you very soon. Bye.